Hey everyone, this is Dan Charles with Lite Forex. It is April 18th, Saturday. I'm going to break down the major Forex pairs. Please subscribe to the channel. Go to the link in the description below this video. Okay, let's get into it. All right, so Australian USD. So after this break, I was calling for a pullback, and it just wasn't coming. It kept on going higher. It was holding support though, that I was saying needed to hold 63. But then once we looked at it the 14th, this was really looking like it was ready to fall. We had this big drop, and then we've been closing above 63, and now we're attempting to break out again. So this is setting up to continue the uptrend, and that's exactly what I was saying needed to happen. We needed to hold support, and we needed to set up for the next leg up. Now you want to see this bust through 6,400, and then of course take out the most recent high, because we do have resistance. On the 14th and 15th, the high was 64.45. The next day it was 64.42. It opened at 42 and then just dropped. So you can see that resistance off that high, 45. The high the next day, 44. Opened at 42. So it put in that lower high and just collapsed. And now it's trying to set up to continue this uptrend. And if we look at the 60-minute chart, you can see that we are trying to trend higher. We're putting in some lower highs here, but it does look more like this can break out. If this breaks above that 64, I think we're going to get to these levels again. I do. So let's see if this can break out, and then I'd be looking for a position. But right now it's still early. Let's see this bust through 64, and I'd be confident from there that it would take out those recent highs. But let's take a look at the futures contract. Yeah, it really looks like it's setting up on here as well. You can see it holding that 63 support, breaking out, and yeah, if we look at the 240, we're going to see here's this uptrend. We pulled back. We're holding 63, 6,300, and now we're trying to break out again. But until we're above 64, that would be where I would be confident that we would start breaking out nicely once we break that 6,400. Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD. The last day I looked at this, it was trending up, but it was very choppy. So we came down, we busted through these support levels, 109, 108.5, closed below, and this was really setting up quite bearish yesterday. We had this little rebound, and right now what needs to happen on this one is a break back above 109. If this can break back above 109, 1.09 I should say, that's where I think I would be confident that it could take off. But I've talked about how sideways the Euro USD is right now. Look at this. Just look at the weekly chart here and look at the last few weeks. So it is quite choppy right now. Like I said, it was setting up on the 16th quite bearish, so it could still break down and go bearish and take out these recent lows, and then it'll be next trying to take these lows out down here. So we'll wait and see on that one. Just the fact that it's so rangy, we're waiting for one way to break, and then we'll reevaluate. But let's see if the futures are telling us anything different. Yeah, it was really looking bearish on the 16th. Like this could come down and start taking out 108 and 107 even, and go from there. And that could still happen. So this one is just a wait and see. It's too sideways. Just look how choppy this is right now. We need to wait for it to break out one way, or break down, say below 108, and then we'll reevaluate. Pound USD. Okay, Pound USD was another one that was overextended. I wanted to see pull back. It pulled back. I drew in these support levels, which was 1.24. You can see it held the last 2 days. It really held that low. 2408 on the 16th, 2407 on the 17th, pulling up. I think if this could break out next day, I think this uptrend is going to continue. I like the fact that it's holding that support, but just like some of the others, this needs to start breaking out, and you want to see it take out. We're right at 25 now, so we are showing a little bit of resistance at 25, closing below 1.25. So closing at 2497, that is something. This really needs to definitely take 25 out, but I want to see it take out 26, and then I would be confident this is going to take off. If we look at the 240 minute, you can see we're pretty sideways recently. You can just see here the range. Very choppy. This is 240 minutes, so this has been going on a bit. It does look more like it could break more to the upside, like I've been saying, but until this starts breaking out, gets up, say, around 26, and definitely gets above 25, it's really a wait and see as well. Let's take a look at the British Pound futures contract. See if there's something different. Well, it looks pretty similar. Needs to get above 26. Let's see what the 60 minute is saying. The 60, we're very sideways. You can see that on here as well as the 240. You want to see it moving, flowing, just like we had here. We're flowing nice, and then now we're rangy, we're sideways. So you can just easily draw in the range. I mean, you could either draw it at the bottom of the lows or in where the opens are, the open and closes, but nevertheless you can see the range. It needs to break, one way or the other. It's definitely looking more like it should break to the upside. Okay, on to the New Zealand USD. So yeah, same thing with the New Zealand USD. This needed to pull back. You can just see here these 4 candles on the 10th, the 13th, and the 14th. The gap here, you're not going to have that gap from the moving average. This is the DEMA moving average. Just like right here, you're not going to have that. It's always going to need to pull back to the moving average. So we got to pull back to the moving average, and we either have to set up for the next leg up, or we're going to change trends and start trending down. So here you can see we're trending up. This needs to break out like this, continue the uptrend, and we're waiting for a setup, a nice break above 6100, or it's going to come down. It's going to break this support at 59.5. Oops, and then it's going to take out these most recent lows. Once it takes out these recent lows, which are roughly 5800-ish. Let's get that exact. 5843. And we start taking that out, then that's where we're changing trends. So you want to see this continue breaking out, but you got to be ready to go either way. So if this starts breaking support, I'd be looking for a sell. But once we break out, if we break out, we break above 61, I'll be looking to enter. Now if we look at the New Zealand futures, yeah, it really does look like it's setting up for the next leg up, holding that support at 59.50, 59.60 roughly. And let's see if this can break out and take off and take out these recent highs. The recent high was 0.6111. Let's see if it can take that out. It does look like it's got a shot to do that, putting in, at least right now, higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Let's see if it can put in higher highs. Right? So that's how I'm going to be playing that. Of course, if it takes out the other way, starts breaking below resistance, support levels, 59.5, 59, then I'll completely change my game plan. But right now it does look more bullish than anything. Okay, USD CAD. Now the USD CAD was looking quite bullish on the 15th. It had this big rangy breakout, and one of those situations where it was holding support at 39, 1.39, and it broke out. There was a big gap from the moving average as well. You can see where price was, where the moving average was. It needed to get back to the moving average, just like what happened here. Needed to get back to the moving average. We came down, and then it tried to break out because I was liking this to go higher. I put in 1.40 as a support, and you can see it closed below that support price today. And this is a very bearish looking candle. So as of right now, the USD CAD is setting up for this to be a lower high scenario. So if this breaks down like that, that would be the lower low. So lower low, lower high, lower low. That's the way it's looking. Now it still could turn around, but you can just see on the monthly we're past the halfway point of the month, and we're already putting in that lower high there. So, and you can really see it just based on the weekly chart as well. Just continuing putting in these lower highs. So yeah, this one, it definitely looks like it could be trending that way, and it could turn around, it could break out. This could have a breakout next day and take off like this, and then that would make me change my mind. But let's take a look at the Canadian dollar to see how that's setting up. So the Canadian dollar is setting up more to break to the upside. You can see it's holding support at 0.71, 71 cents to the US dollar, and this is setting up more to break to the upside. So of course this is going to be moving opposite of the USD CAD. So I like the Canadian dollar going higher, and I like the USD CAD going the other way. All right, lastly, let's take a look at the USD yen. Now the USD yen is kind of setting up like the Canadian dollar in that it's putting in a potential lower high unless it turns around. But we just recently held this support at 107. We had this rebound, but this candle is setting up to come down and potentially bust through this support of 107. Now it could easily turn around, just like I said with the Canadian dollar. It could just break out like this, something like that, and then I would say we held this support. 107 was strong support, held the support, put in the higher lows, and then I'd be pretty confident that this would be breaking the other way. But as of right now, it does look like it could come down and bust through 107 and go bearish. Let's take a look at the yen futures contract to see if we get an opposite picture, and it's definitely rangy. You can see the resistance here. You can see the lower highs. But you can see we're trending up. But whenever you're sideways like this, that's tricky. That's definitely tricky. Let's blow up the 60-minute. Yeah, you can just see we're very sideways now. We had quite a move here, and then we've been trending down, still moving nicely, but most recently we are going choppy. Now we are trending up, of course, but still we're quite rangy. So this one's a wait and see for me. I'd like to see this bust through this high, 0.0093715. This breaks out, I think the yen will take off, and of course the USD yen is just like it is. It's looking like it should be going the other way. Okay, that is the breakdown for April 18th. Please subscribe to the channel. Go to Lite Forex, link in the description below this video, and have yourself a good weekend. Thank you for watching.